All right. Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we have a discussion or a debate, rather, with my friend right over here. I thought we would just start off by introducing ourselves. My name is Michael. Michael Light Talks on TikTok or pro-life_party on Instagram, and I am very much pro-life. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Raluu. I'm from Romania originally and still living in Romania. I'm a med student and I'm from TikTok. You can find me at Raluu with a lot of underscores. And yes, I am perfect. That's
Uh,
oh, and to clarify this whole thing, it's because I got threat and my account hacked, so I'm trying to protect myself. It's not any other weird reason. I'm not a weird.
all right. Awesome. Okay. Do you want to make your statement first, or do you want me to make my statement first?
I would like to thank you for taking your time to debate with me. So I would also like to give you the first.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's my pleasure to debate. I love having like open discussions. But sure, I guess if you want to allow me to make my opening statement, sure. Yeah, this is my thesis. From the earliest stages of conception, unborn babies are living, distinct, and whole human persons. They are not parts of other human persons like individual cells and bodily organs, but rather distinct individuals with their own genetic identity that will mature to adulthood unless acted upon externally in order to stop nature from taking its course. As such, the willful destruction of an unborn baby ends a human life and is unethical.
Okay, is that all?
Yep, that's.
Okay, I would like just not like to cut you off. That's all.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let me close this. Sorry. So about my opening statement, what led me to be pro-choice is my firm belief in human rights. So, as we all know, human rights do protect the right to life, the right to live, but they do also protect the rights to body autonomy and the right for no one else but you to choose what is best with your body if you have discernment, right? If you are able to make decisions upon yourself, and if it is in your best interest, statistically, or whatever you want to call it. So that is why I would take the human rights perspective on pro-choice, let's say, on this abortion debate. That is why I would believe that the right to choose for the mother is actually super important for various medical reasons. Me being a medical student, I like to focus more on the medical viewpoint and on the risks that are taken when somebody is being forced to give birth, to have a pregnancy, or being forced to do anything in general. That I would like to point out the psychological issues and the physical issues. So that is why I am taking this pro-choice stance. Thank you.
Hmm. I just want to say before we go any further, just to clarify for the audience and everything, this is a debate solely about the ethics of abortion. Obviously, we can't really debate about legality, really, because it wouldn't be fair because we're in different countries, so we can't debate about. So yeah, I just wanted to make that clear to everyone in the audience. This is debate about the ethics of abortion, not legality. Different debate, but yeah. I wanted to. So you said based on bodily autonomy, you believe that abortion should be legal, correct? Or that's one basis at least.
Yes, but my belief on body autonomy is not probably what you believe on body autonomy. I mentioned the fact that you have to be aware of what you're doing and that statistically speaking, you're making the best choice, like in a medical sense, if you know what I mean. You know, because I
Mm.
know where this is going. I know where this is going, so that's why I'm making that statement. Okay, okay,
Okay. So would you say that you support full body autonomy? That a woman can, that anyone can do whatever they want with their bodies?
if that person has full discernment, and if a judge, let's not go to let's not go to judges, but
Mhm.
if morally able person can objectively pick that this is the best option for the person. Yeah.
Okay. But my question for that would be, how could you, so you don't believe in full body autonomy. You believe in bodily autonomy in cases where people know their options, right?
In
That's
cases
my understanding of what you're saying. Is that correct?
in case of discernment, like we're not
Okay.
talking about when people do not have discernment. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, yeah. So people who do not have discernment shouldn't have the right to an abortion then? Or they should, it would be unethical for somebody without discernment to have an abortion?
uh, it would be unethical from the perspective that they do not understand what is going on. They might not understand they are living on this planet.
Okay.
If you know what I mean? Okay. So
Y-
I hope
Yeah.
that's clear.
So would you say that it's unethical for somebody who does not have discernment to have an abortion, while somebody who does have a discernment is doing the exact same thing?
Uh, in the only sense that he does, as I said, he's not aware of the surroundings. He can't make that choice. Medically speaking, a person without discernment cannot choose to have an abortion. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you do believe in full body autonomy then,
Uh,
or am I
just
wrong?
just just beside the fact that if the person doesn't have discernment, yes, I believe in body autonomy. I hope that's clear.
As long as the person has discernment.
As long as the person has discernment, yes, yes.
Okay. So how would you define whether somebody has discernment? How would you judge whether a person has discernment, and how would you judge whether their discernment is an ethical and correct discernment?
Discernment is determined because we're talking about a medical issue, right? Discernment is decided by medical professionals. So that's how discernment is being decided.
Oh, okay. So you're saying if they are medically educated on what an abortion literally is. Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily about, yeah, yeah, of course, about what an abortion is.
Okay.
They have to
So,
understand what an abortion
okay.
is.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So you're saying as long as the person knows, most literally speaking, what an abortion is, it would be ethical for them to have an abortion, correct?
But not only that, he also has to have discernment. Discernment is not only limited to understanding what an abortion is.
Okay.
Discernment many,
Yeah.
has many branches. I think you understand that and you know that already.
Well, what do you mean by intent? What do you mean by intentions? How could you judge whether somebody's? I mean, I don't personally. I don't see how an intention would make a decision correct or not.
When did I say intention? Sorry. When did I say intention? What intention?
Wait, I'm sorry. What are you saying?
When did I say intention? When did I
Oh, did you
pronounce?
not say intention? Okay, that's my bad. I'm sorry. I must have misheard. So what you're saying by discernment is they have to be medically educated on what an abortion is, and you're also saying
I'm sorry, breaking out.
and what's the other aspect of that? My audio is breaking out.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
You didn't hear me? Okay, that's all right. So what you're saying, my question for you is, what are your aspects to discernment? What specifically would you classify as discernment?
I would classify as discernment just as any medical professional would, being medically sane, and yeah, medically sane, like being aware of your surroundings, being aware to understand what's happening inside your body. You get what I'm saying? Being a fully
Okay,
sane.
so if somebody was medically insane and they got in a,
But
so on that basis, you think that somebody who's insane, sorry,
I'm not,
sorry, what was that?
I'm not hearing you. Can you repeat?
Oh, you're not hearing me? Okay, okay, my bad. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So you're saying that as long as somebody is medically sane and they're aware of their surroundings and everything, then it would be ethical for them to have an abortion, correct?
Uh, if they are aware of all the ramifications, the consequences of their actions, yes, that would
Okay.
be my.
Okay, but how would you fully judge whether somebody is fully aware of the consequences of abortion?
As I said, I personally wouldn't. Maybe when I finish med school as a medical professional, I would be able to do that. But medical professionals make that choice. That diagnosis, let's say. You know what I'm trying to get at?
Okay, so
again, I didn't hear anything. You're breaking up.
is
I'm so
the
sorry.
medical professional.
I'm really
That's on my fault. Can you hear me now? My
now
bandwidth
I can hear you.
is
Yeah, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you again. I'm so sorry. I'm not doing anything. Like my hands are here. It's not my. I don't know why I can hear you.
sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Um, yeah. So you're saying as long as the medical professional who is enacting the abortion upon the woman feels. So you're saying as long as the medical professional feels that the woman who is getting the abortion knows what the abortion is, then that doctor, that abortionist can rightfully give that woman an abortion, and it would be fully ethical.
I believe that you may argue that the medical professional that does the abortion would be biased uh,
Well,
also
no,
the
I'm not.
abortion.
Well,
So
well,
what I'm trying to get, just 1 second to finish my idea, I'm talking about like maybe a psychiatrical psychological professional, something like that, to ensure that he understood the part of she she not
well,
he, she understood the ramifications. Okay.
well, okay. Okay. So I want to point out a couple problems that I have with what you're saying. The first problem I have is you're saying like as long as they're sane and as long as they have been informed by a medical professional on what an abortion is, and the medical professional feels good about them having an abortion. My first problem is that do you think it would be unethical for an insane person to have an abortion then?
It's not what I think. It's the fact that it is not possible, like it is not medically ethical to have a procedure decided by a person who cannot consent in a informed manner on what's gonna happen on her body. Okay, so it's not medically ethical to do that. You understand?
No, I'm not sure I actually do. Can you
Okay.
restate that one more time?
Okay. So only a person with discernment and who is able
Okay.
to make an informed decision, to give her informed consent, is able to make a decision on any medical procedure. You know, like
Okay.
anything else, not only abortion. That's
Okay.
that's on
Okay.
any procedure. Okay.
Okay. So so you don't necessarily constitute for full body autonomy. Only bodily autonomy that is what's the word for it? I'm trying to articulate. You only believe in conditional bodily autonomy, is what you're saying. Only in
And
specific scenarios where the woman is
consent.
informed
Let's
first.
call it consensual. I would call it consensual. I don't know if that's
Okay,
okay.
okay. So as long as they consent to the abortion, you think it's ethical.
As long as they can give consent. That's
Okay, okay. So if they give consent to the abortion, then it is ethical for the abortion procedure to take place. Correct?
if they are valid for giving consent, you know.
Okay. Yeah. So you'd agree that somebody who can consent can get an abortion.
If somebody who is, yes, as I said, able to give an informed consent, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Understood. So you're not arguing on the basis of full body autonomy then, correct? Or are you?
I am arguing
What?
on the
I'm
basis.
I'm confused. Okay, maybe let's take a second. Like, what basis do you believe that abortion is ethical? What is your argument for I guess abortion is what I'm trying to understand.
My argument for abortion is the fact that any person who can give her informed consent on abortion can have an abortion.
Okay. Do you believe that anybody who has informed consent on other procedures, do you think people can make any decision as long as they're informed on what that decision actually means? Then
As
is what
long
I'm
as they
saying.
can give an informed consent.
Informed consent. You'd say that for anything.
Uh, yes, because that
Okay.
okay. Let's say yes, yes.
Okay.
Let's see
Okay.
where you're going. Okay,
Okay.
because we're
Okay.
going in circles, and I want to see where you're going.
Okay. Okay. So this is my question.
Okay.
Do you believe that with informed consent, a 7-year-old should be able to do crack cocaine?
Okay, first of all, here is a bit of a stretch. I'm not going to call it a strawman's argument because I'm not that kind of person, but I would say that in these cases, the state or a bigger authority that actually is able to decide in an informed manner is the one that should make this kind of decision. As I said, it's all about discernment. A 7-year-old can't have discernment on these types of issues. So a person who is morally capable or whatever you want to call it, like informed, as it goes with children who can't have blood transfusions because of their religious views of their parents. I think it's the same thing, you know.
Okay.
I
So so are you saying yes? Is that what you're saying? Or I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused as to what your exact stance is.
I okay. So my exact stance is as any country. I don't think there's any country when a 7-year-old is legally allowed to take crack cocaine.
Yeah.
So,
But
right? I
okay.
think that's universal. Okay. So on that same basis, a 7-year-old can't make his own decision on, let's say, any other medical decision. But because the parents can be biased in this situation, a medical professional should uh, take in on that situation, like an objective from a medical objective perspective. So what I'm trying to get, I think you know where I'm trying to get at here. But also, I would like to point out the fact that here we're talking about a small majority of people, and also that in most states, children are like over the age of 15 are already considered fully capable of giving consent on sexual problems. So I think the 7-year-old is a bit of a stretch and a bit of a minority in this whole debate, but I also talked about that. So
Okay, so do you think that do you think that the states are ethically imposing that children should not be able to give consent? Do you think that's ethical of the states to not allow children to like consent to like I forgot exactly how you articulated it. I can't fully articulate it the same way as you could. But do you believe they're ethical in doing that?
uh, you're asking me if you think it's ethical that states limit health dangers for children?
No. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, so you talked about how most states don't allow for children or for kids, for anyone who's, let's say, like not an adult, under 18, right? Most states do not allow for kids, let's call them kids, do not have that it's unethical for kids to consent to sexual intercourse. Do you believe that's ethical?
For states to say that?
Yeah. Do you believe that's ethical?
That they can't have consent. But just to mention, most states say they can after 16. But yes, in
Okay.
fact that
16. Let's say 16.
okay, considering the fact that they probably are not developed enough at that age to understand all consequences, it is justifiable, let's say.
Okay.
But again, I think you're restricting the debate. That's all I'm gonna say. You're restricting the
Well,
debate.
here's my question for you. If you don't think it's ethical, if you think it's okay, sorry. If you think it's ethical for the state to tell people that they're not developed enough to make decisions about procreation, then why do you think that the state should have the ability to tell people how to end their procreation, how to kill what they just procreated illegally, according to that state's standard?
I don't think the states should ever tell someone of age to do what to do with their bodies. What I'm trying to
Uh,
say here is that objectively speaking, the state can limit body autonomy in a way, like with
okay.
drugs, with what I said about children who can't make their own medical decisions. Those are justifiable, as I said, because people are not objectively developed enough, like mentally speaking, historically speaking, however you want to call it, they're not developed enough to make those decisions from for themselves. But again, you're restricting the debate. That's
Well,
all I'm.
that's circular reasoning. You're saying that they can't do with their body what they want to do with their body, because their body isn't at the certain point where they can do with their body what they want with their body. You're saying because their body is a certain way, their young age, right? Their body has only been around for a certain amount of time. Therefore, they should not be able to do with their body whatever they want with their body.
As I'm just saying that that decision should be taken like how to not taken solely by a medical professional, but advised by a medical professional. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
Okay.
what I'm
Okay.
trying to get at here. We're talking about a very small range of people from ages like 10 to 4 to 15. That's 5 years we're talking about here. That's
Yeah.
very the debate to 5 years. Okay, 5 years.
Okay. Yeah.
So I said my stance on it. Some medical professionals should give an advice that would be in a court of law would weigh out will weigh more than whatever the parents say. You know, because a medical professional is objective
Okay.
and very informed as opposed to the parents.
Okay. So you don't necessarily believe in full body autonomy. You do believe in bodily autonomy to an extent, correct? But you don't believe in full body autonomy, right?
Uh, in the limits I
Because
mentioned, in the limits I mentioned, which are medically objective, like it's
okay,
something.
yeah. Yeah, but you still don't believe that bodily autonomy is full, right? Which I don't have a problem with. I don't believe it's full either. I don't believe there's absolute bodily autonomy. But you don't believe that either, right?
As I said in the limits mentioned. Okay, yeah.
So you believe in mostly bodily autonomy, but you believe there's limits, right? Like you have to be informed by medical professionals, correct?
There are limits that are taken by the human judgment, and that we can't trust people who don't have discernment. That's what I'm trying to
Okay.
say.
Okay. Here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that a teenager who, so let's say there's like this, I don't know, this 16-year-old teenager who just got his girlfriend just broke up with him, and he's lovesick and he's depressed because his girlfriend broke up with him, and now he wants to kill himself, right? And and he really wants to kill himself. Do you think he should be allowed to take anesthesia and kill himself? Do you think
No
that'd be?
one, no, I'm not
I'm just wondering.
encouraging or supporting anyone's right to take his own life. I'm not saying anyone should kill themselves. It's a choice they make or don't make. Like we can't force them, like hold them by their hands or anything like that to not make that move.
A hormonal. So you think that a hormonal teenager who's just depressed because he just broke up with his girlfriend should be allowed to instantly just go home and like, oh, you don't. You're saying you don't believe they should be able to kill themselves.
I don't believe he should kill himself, but I don't
Okay.
think there's any way for us to make that not happen if that is what he wants to do.
Okay, but do you think it would be ethical for him to kill himself if he wanted to kill himself?
It's not our decision to make.
Well, that's not my question. I'm not asking whether it's our decision to make or not.
Okay.
I'm asking whether it's ethical. I understand it's not our decision to make.
Okay. Okay. You're asking me if that is ethical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For a hormonal teenager to do that. Well, obviously, my personal belief, being a medical, being a doctor, is that no, like most people taking their own life are not doing the best decision they can. But
Okay.
again, it's not my place to judge. So this is not the point of the debate. We're talking about abortion.
Well, no, I understand, but I would like to make an analogy if that's okay. But I'd like to get your answer for this first. So
Okay.
so your belief. So I'm confused on your belief because you say that we can't tell him what to do, but then you're like I don't understand. Do you think it would be ethical for him to kill himself? I understand that. I understand that it's hard to say, but like, do you think it's ethical for him to kill himself?
Let me just get to the end of the sentence. I don't believe it is ethical for anyone to kill themselves. The only time I would find it justifiable for someone to take that step is, according to my Hippocratic oath and what I gathered through the years, if that person is in extreme pain and can't take it anymore, me as a doctor, I can't force someone to take the pain anymore. I
Okay.
think I'm getting it.
Okay, so in that specific scenario, you would believe that that teenager would be unethically taking his life, correct?
Uh,
That's what I understood. But if I'm wrong, I'd love to be corrected.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Great. Um, so
But let's not forget he
yeah.
doesn't have discernment.
What was that again? I'm sorry.
Let's not forget he doesn't have discernment in that moment. He
Why does
like
he not? Why does he not have discernment?
well regarding the fact that you said he's in severe depression, or I understood
Mhm.
badly. You said he's
Yeah.
in severe depression, right?
Hmm.
If he's in severe depression, and the medical professionals would agree he doesn't have discernment, that's
Hmm.
the exception I was talking about. He doesn't have discernment, so it's not part of his depression.
That's a good point to make. So he's put under pressure by something that's by a temporary situation that he's in. So why should he be allowed to make a permanent, find his own permanent, or I didn't mean to, a permanent solution, right? That's the same thing I believe about abortion. It's a, it's a permanent, or no, other way around. Childbirth, children are a permanent, as some people would say, problem. Um, so they should not be solved with short-term solutions. Well, it's permanent, but the solution is it's a hasty decision, right?
But
I
the
don't
thing
believe
is,
that it,
okay, go on. Sorry.
I don't believe that it's within I don't believe that it's within anyone's right to kill their unborn child. I don't know what I'm getting at here. I kind of just got lost off track. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, what I'm trying to take on what you're trying to say, if I understood correctly. Um, sorry, let me put everything together. Yeah. So I believe that no one. This first of all, it's not a burden. I don't view children as a burden myself, but that's besides the point.
Oh, it's not.
Uh,
Yeah.
the thing about abortion is it doesn't, it's not a permanent thing. Like we're talking about abortion and about pregnancy, not about parenthood here. We're not discussing parenthood, so it's not a permanent thing. We're talking about a temporary thing, theoretically speaking, right? So it's a discussion about abortion, not about parenthood.
Okay. If they're not allowed to take their own life out of haste, then why should they be allowed to take the life of another out of haste?
As I said, I'm not saying they should take their life out of haste. I'm saying that
I
they
know.
should be examined by a medical professional before taking that decision to have an abortion. And if
Okay.
that medical professional decides he does have discernment and he's in all faculties of his mind, he should be allowed. She. Why am I saying she? She should
Yeah.
be allowed to make that decision.
But that discernment is based on but here's the thing, that doesn't change what they're doing. The discernment doesn't change what they're doing. Yeah, they're given more information, but so what? How does it, I don't see how that changes the ethics of the situation.
It's changing the ethics of the situation by the fact that the person is able to make an informed choice and give her informed consent of the situation. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but so based on that logic, right? You believe that it's unethical for somebody to make an uninformed to get an abortion who's uninformed, correct?
I do believe that anyone who is trying to get an abortion should be informed of any consequences.
Okay, yeah, but we're talking about the ethics of abortion, right? So you think
I
that
try
abortion is ethical if the person is informed. So based on that, you think that it is unethical if the person gets an abortion and is uninformed, correct? Or no?
so you're asking me if I'm sorry, it break out for a second. You're asking me if I believe it's not ethical if the person is not informed and is gonna have an abortion.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm asking you.
Okay, yes, I believe that she should be informed on any aspect of the abortion before having it. Yeah.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you. So you're saying that an abortion is ethical in the circumstance where a woman gets an abortion, but she was informed properly beforehand and she had discernment. So let's say that she didn't have discernment and she was uninformed. Would it be unethical for her to have an abortion in that circumstance?
That's what I am fighting for, a fair choice. So all
Well,
people who are trying to have an abortion are informed, are consensual.
understood.
Yeah.
Understood, but we're talking about the ethics of an abortion, right?
Yeah.
So would it be unethical in that situation for that woman who's uninformed to have an abortion?
If that woman didn't know what she was doing, of course, as any other procedure, it's unethical to make a decision about her body. It's not informed. It's about medical. It's about informed consent. It's a simple concept.
So then it's not about, so then not all abortions are ethical then.
Well, all abortions who are wait a second. Who are you to tell all abortions are not informed? Like you can't
I,
say for
I didn't
every case.
I didn't say that. That's not what I said. But you're saying that that abortions are ethical based on the fact that somebody's doing what they want with their body and they have been informed on what they are doing to their body. So therefore, they should be allowed to do that on their body. Well, what if they don't know what they're doing to their body and they do it to their body? Is it unethical in that circumstance? It seems like you are arguing for that by arguing, by the way that you're arguing for the ethics of an abortion.
What I am saying here is she would not get to make that decision in the first place if she can't make an informed consent.
Okay,
And that's
so
medical
so you do believe all abortions are ethical?
all abortions, as long as the patient can give informed consent, as any other
Okay,
medical procedure in
okay,
the world.
okay. Do you believe there's a such thing as an unethical abortion? Do you think there's
Uh,
a single circumstance, any circumstance in which a woman could have an abortion and it would be unethical?
um, I think that would happen if, first of all, abortion would be illegal because she wouldn't get a chance to be informed on all aspects of what she's doing. So maybe in countries where uh, she's not, she can't have all the information about that because it is a taboo subject. Uh, that is something that should not happen. You know what I'm trying
Okay, yeah,
to get?
yeah.
That's why I'm fighting for them to be legal for people who can have consent, just as it should be legal. It should be legal for any medical procedure to be legal if you can give informed consent.
Okay, so you do believe that some abortions are unethical because some abortions are done legally, right?
I can't say all abortions are unethical, and you can't
No,
insert.
I'm not saying that you're saying that all abortions are unethical. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying you do believe that a percentage of abortions are unethical because they are illegal, correct?
No, not because they're illegal. If there are coming from a misinformed and not fully informed person or a person who can decide for themselves, that's what I'm
Okay.
trying.
Okay. Besides the fact that informed is a very subjective term, do you think that it would be ethical if I was informed and I wanted to abort my baby because it's a girl and not a boy? Say I was a girl and I was pregnant and I wanted a boy and I got a girl instead and I was informed on what an abortion is, what it's doing to my body, and so I want to kill my baby because it's a girl and it's not a boy. Do you think that's ethical?
I believe that this kind of moral reasoning you're finding for yourself is your own personal problem and not of somebody else to
Okay,
judge of you. So
understood.
I still believe that no one in this world is allowed to take advantage of another person's body in order to survive. So, by the same logic, the same child, the same fetus or embryo who is in that situation shouldn't have the right to take use of the mother's body. You know, not any fetus, not any embryo, not even like we're not discussing here persons, but even if it was a person, no person can use another person's body for their own benefit.
So first of all, it is a living human person, and second of all, I want to.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it wasn't a part of the.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm
Yes.
just clarifying. So I want to talk about that part where you said that no person should be allowed to use another person's body. I want you to imagine if I was a traveler, right, and I'm kidnapped and I'm placed 5 miles within private property.
Hmm.
And this landowner sees me and he says, "Hey, this is private property. Why are you here? Get off my property." And I peacefully agree. And I'm like, "Yes, I'm going to get off your property. I didn't want to be here in the first place." And so, uh, how far am I expected to walk to get off his property? If I was put 5 miles into his property, I'll have to walk 5 miles to get out of his property, right? So if I'm walking 5 miles to get out of his property, and I've only made it three, and he says, "Hey, I told you to get off my property, and you still haven't gotten off my property," and he shoots me in the back, is that ethical?
I think that's a really far-fetched analogy. I don't exactly see the link to our discussion, but I'm gonna try to talk about it anyway. So, in the situation that your well-being is in any way meddled with, you are allowed by the human rights, not going to legality, by the 13th article of the human rights, you are allowed to make any kind of decision that would protect you. It's the
Okay,
13th
okay,
right.
but now let's define well-being, right? How far are we going to go to say well-being, right? Would you say if a woman, like the way that the U.S. Supreme Court defined well-being for Doe v. Bolton, is they said if the baby threatens the mother's emotional, physical, spiritual, familial, any type of well-being at all, to the point where they can get an abortion in any circumstance, then it would be ethical, then it would be legal. So
Considering, okay,
how would you define well-being? You're okay, you're okay.
okay, how would I define well-being? Okay, how would I define well-being as a medical professional who has also studied psychology and psychiatry a bit, just a bit? I would say that any mental or physical problem that would happen if the abortion would be denied to that person would mean that that person would be entitled to make the decision, and that just because just one part of the problem, but also the fact that not any person can judge, can not any person can profit off of your body. So I think that's pretty clear, right? I think, I hope.
What you said, mental and emotional, is that what you said?
I said, I don't know
Maybe I
if
heard that
that's
wrong.
how I worded it, sorry, but anything that would infringe anything bad upon that person. And I'm talking here in
Okay.
any way, like not in, I'm going off track a bit, not in any way, but just not in any way, but in the way that no one can use your body for their own well-being. If you are denied the right to take responsibility for your own body, that would be a problem, and that would be a violation of the human rights. Okay, I think that's clearer.
Okay. Okay. So I want to explain why I brought up that analogy in the first place. So that man's property, the man that owned the private property, his private property, he has a right to that private property. That's his own property. But if somebody is put there against their own will, right? The best he can do is ask that person to leave. He can't shoot them in the back as they are deciding to leave. In the same way, I don't believe it's ethical to kill an unborn baby as they're making their way out of the mother. Because they will make their way out of the mother. In 9 months, the unborn baby will make it out of the mother.
Uh,
And so I don't believe it's okay I believe the most that the woman can do is ask that baby to leave. They can't just kill it on its way out.
but I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna try to answer then ask you something. So,
Okay.
no, if you're gonna find me another example where a person can take advantage of another person, even for 2 seconds, another person's body without their informed consent, uh, any other example in this world, that would, let's say, how some make it just somehow make it justifiable, but in no other place, in no other situation can a person take advantage of your body. So.
You think unborn babies are okay? How do you think that unborn babies are taking advantage of the mother's body?
How do you not think they're taking without the mother's body they would not survive
Yes, they're
until a point
so
of viability?
So
Okay.
the thing you're doing, the language you're using is deceptive, and the reason you're saying that they're using the woman's body, that they're what was the word you used? I forgot. Taking advantage of their body. They're not taking advantage of their body. They are getting advantages from their body, but it was not on their own will. It's not like they're sucking nutrients from the mother. The mother is involuntarily providing nutrients for the child.
Okay. That
Correct.
might be.
So
That
it's
gone.
I believe your language is manipulative.
Why are you saying? First of all, I'm not trying to make excuses, but English is not my first language, and I'm not exactly sure of the nuances I'm using. I'm trying to do my
Okay.
best. Well, second of all, what I meant by taking advantages is feeding off of. If that's a better analogy, not never can anyone feed off of your body, benefit from your body without your consent. I hope that's a better phrase.
Yeah, but I think that's manipulative as well. It's not feeding off her body. She's feeding the body. Okay, okay. A neonate, a newborn baby who's breastfeeding on a woman, right? That woman is willfully giving that baby
Hopefully,
breastfeeding. And listen. I realize this analogy only goes so far because the mother is actively and voluntarily doing this. I realize that providing nutrients for the unborn baby is an involuntary uh, happening. However, it's not like neither of these beings is actively perpetrating anything. Everything that is happening is involuntary, correct? So
but
I don't feel like it's fair to say that one being is actively doing something, actively and voluntarily doing something.
but feeding off of doesn't necessarily mean they doing that like any okay doesn't mean it's in bad intent or they're trying to harm the person or something like that. I didn't mean it like that. It
Well,
literally
the way you say it does come across that way. So I think it's very. I understand that you may not have meant to, but the connotation of words is very important. I would have used a word more like he's been provided his nutrients and his supplements from the woman. Yes, I would agree
without her
that that's
consent,
true.
without her consent, which is not fair by the human rights or by any other example in the world. So
Okay, I have a question. If
that's
I
like
go,
go. Sorry.
I have sorry. Did you finish your point? I'm sorry.
No, that
I
was
couldn't.
just my point. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I can hear you correctly. Okay. So do you believe that abortion is ethical in cases where the woman consents to sex?
Okay, so what I'm gonna say about that, consent to sex is not consent to pregnancy.
Okay.
So,
Well, no, it is not consent to pregnancy. It is consent to the consequences that come with sex, which is pregnancy and birth. So, well, it's consent. Yeah. So yeah, it is. So if I go outside and I play baseball, right? If I go outside and I'm playing baseball and I take every precaution possible, and the baseball happens to accidentally smash into my neighbor's window, can I say I don't consent to paying for your window because like I didn't mean to do that? Can I do that?
well, in that situation, you take responsibility for your actions, and if you're talking about abortion as not being taking responsibility for your actions, because that's probably where you're going at. Abortion is also taking responsibility for your actions because it does also have some effects on you.
Okay,
Objectively,
so you do believe that you have to take responsibility for your actions.
yes, and abortion is also taking responsibility for your actions.
So what kind of responsible parent would kill their child?
You're asking okay, first of all, it's not a child, it's a fetus or embryo. Second of all, any type of outcome that comes when you are when you after you've got pregnant, either if it's keeping the pregnancy or having an abortion, is taking responsibility. It's just simple as that. You are taking responsibility for what you've done. You are making an informed decision, so you're taking responsibility.
Okay. First of all, I do want to note that yes, it is a child by definition. If we go to Merriam-Webster and search up the word child, a child is a young person, especially between infancy and puberty. Not only, but especially, a person not yet of the second entry is a person not yet of age of maturity of majority. The third is a child or childlike person. Fourth, a son or daughter of human parents. 5 descendant, and 6 is an unborn or recent born person.
Okay,
That's
you have your sources, I have my sources. If we go to Cambridge Dictionary, you're gonna find the fact that it doesn't include the
Cambridge Dictionary.
Cambridge Dictionary. Yes. If you go there, you can see a boy or a girl from the time of birth until he or she is an adult or a son or daughter of any age. So yeah.
That's so it's only providing one dictionary entry. I wonder why that is.
No, I'm gonna find some more if you would like me to take the time. I didn't foresee this kind of debate about what a child means, but sure, I'm gonna provide some more. Let me see here. I
I
usually say stuff like that, I just come up
I,
with Cambridge because it's the first. It's actually the first suggestion that comes up. So yeah,
yeah, when
sure.
you search it up on Google, which is an inherently left-leaning source. Yeah, of course you're going to get left-leaning like articles and left-leaning sources.
Sorry, but like the fact that it's the first is not necessarily my only
Yeah,
argument on why it is the good source. Cambridge is, in my opinion, a good source because it's one of the biggest universities. I don't know if
a
why
big
we're having.
yeah, a big university, but universities are inherently left-leaning. The academic system is left-leaning, but yeah. Yeah, I do agree. This is getting too much into semantics, but
Yeah,
I forgot what was the argument that we were discussing.
we were discussing. You made that argument with the baseball thing, and I said that abortion is still taking responsibility for your actions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that ending the life of your offspring, which is by definition their offspring. I don't believe that ending your offspring is ever a responsible decision. I would not. Yeah, I don't believe
Uh,
that's a respectable decision.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't believe that your subjective view on what responsibility means that that person is not taking responsibility. Taking responsibility means acknowledging what you've done and accepting all outcomes that come out of it.
Okay.
So taking responsibility is different from making the most responsible decision. You know what I'm
Okay,
trying to
but
get?
what's the
Because
most
that's highly subjective.
okay? But what's the most natural outcome of sex? If you leave it alone, then it will give birth, right?
It,
So
uh,
that is respecting the natural outcome. I don't. Yeah.
but why are you saying that taking responsibility for something means taking the natural cause with the natural course with the
That's
same
not.
logic? If we, sorry, let me just finish the sentence.
No, that's
With
my
the
bad.
same logic, if we're gonna break our leg, we're just gonna leave it like that because it's the natural outcome to like remain limp for the rest of our life. We're gonna have to do something to it. Either if we leave it like that or we do something to it, it's taking responsibility for what happened to us, right?
That's not actually what I said. I didn't. I wasn't the one who argued that responsibility is letting the natural consequences take place. You were the one that said that, and then I was just the one who said if you're going to use that logic, then you have to stay consistent to it.
Sorry.
I believe that there is a level to that, but not necessarily that goes all the way. I
Uh,
I I, I don't believe that it's responsible to to end your offspring at your own convenience.
I'm sorry, but taking the responsible decision from a person's viewpoint and taking responsibility for your actions are two different things. You know.
I don't understand what you're trying to say. Can you restate that? I'm sorry.
Okay. So making the most responsible decision in someone's viewpoint doesn't equal taking responsibility for your actions.
So as long as you see it as responsible, it's responsible. Because Hitler saw exterminating half of the Jewish population as responsible, but I would in no way hold that as responsible. I think it's anti-Semitic and hateful and
I
terrible.
don't know how you got to Hitler or associated me with the idea of Hitler, but what I was trying to
He's,
get at is exactly what you said. The subjective viewpoint of yourself or of Hitler or any other person of responsibility does not equal the fact that that
oh,
a person hasn't taken responsibility for their actions. Responsibility means that you have taken I'm going in circles with the definitions, but I think you know what I'm trying to say here.
No, that's my bad. I thought you were saying that somebody's own personal subjective belief about what is responsible is what's responsible. So I completely misheard that. So that's my bad. I would agree with that, but I think that it's pretty fair to say that it is irresponsible to end your offspring's life at your own convenience. Yeah, I strongly stand by that.
Can I say something? So what I'm trying to say here, your point with the baseball thing was you said you are not taking responsibility for your actions. What
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is abortion is also taking responsibility for your actions. I hope that's clearer now.
No, yeah, I understand. I understand that that's what you're saying, but I would very strongly disagree. And I don't feel like you could ever say that terminating the life of your child, born or unborn, is ethical or the responsible decision. That's my personal belief.
That's your personal view.
And
That's basing off on the fact that
based on the fact that it's wrong to kill somebody when it is unnecessary and when they have not aggressed against you and when your life is not threatened by them.
okay, so you're denying the psychological issues or the fact that no one can use your body against your own will here, right?
That's not true. I'm not denying that.
Okay,
So
so
the child isn't actively doing anything. It's like we already said, it's an involuntary process on both parts. So it's a very deceptive wording to say that the child is using. Yes, the child is taking advantages from. Okay, I guess you could say yes that they are using the mother's body, but um, it's it's a completely different scenario. Like I said, you just like if somebody's dropped 5 miles into somebody's property, right? It wasn't like that child willfully chose to be in that mother specific uterus. You cannot just shoot them in the back as you tell them to leave and they are leaving. You must let them leave. So the best you can do when you are pregnant is you can tell your child to leave, allow your child to leave. They will leave in 9 months. It's guaranteed.
okay, so what I'm going to say right now, first of all, we cannot talk about an embryo or a fetus making a willingly bad decision upon the mother, like a conscious decision to threaten her life. That's obviously not true. That's not what I'm debating because most until the 24th week, the embryo does not have, or the fetus, whatever, does not have cerebral, like it can be cerebral activity can be recorded on the EKG. So I'm not saying anything about that. So therefore, we cannot speak about bad intentions from that embryo. What I'm trying to say is that embryo or fetus cannot use like take advantage either passively or actively on another person's body of another person's body.
So you believe it's okay to so nobody chose where these nutrients are going or like how this is happening, but you just believe it's okay to poison or dismember this being and vacuum them up because of this thing that they didn't even decide to do.
First of all, medical abortions, which are taking a pill that takes off the mucosa from the uterus, are available until the 20th week, which in the majority of countries is the limit for consensual like abortion,
Yeah.
like without any reason. Okay, let's leaving that besides the fact that it's not dismembering, poisoning, or whatever, and in the majority, which is 92% of the cases. Besides that fact, uh, what I'm trying to get at here is the same concept. It does not matter if there was an intention to do it or not. You as a person cannot give without your consent your body. You know, like you can't ask for anyone to give something of their body for your well-being. That's against human rights.
Okay, I think we should both make one last counter argument. So like I'll say one more thing against that, and then you can say one thing against that, and then I think we should like just make our closing statements and then allow questions because we've already went past. But uh, I'll allow you to have the last say because I started. So I believe that that is wrong because, like I said, like I said, the best that you can do, neither person chose for this to happen, right? Neither the unborn baby nor the mother. So the best you can do is ask for your child to leave, right? They will leave within the 9 months, and it's not okay to kill them on their way of departure. So that's my belief. And then you can make your last argument, I guess.
Okay. My belief on this is no matter the duration of whatever is happening towards your body, of how your body is used, whether it is with intention or without intention, it doesn't matter how much it lasts. The point here is no one can in any way use your body with or without intention for its own well-being. That is the reason why I believe a person with discernment is should be able to have an abortion, as that person, she should be able to make any kind of medical decision she would like on her own body. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Awesome. If you're in the comments right now and you have any questions, any arguments, anything that you want to say, make sure to leave them in the comments, and we will actually be right now for the next like 10, 5 minutes, however long this goes. We're just going to be showing up the comments and we will be answering them. If you want, you can direct it at either, I don't want to butcher the pronunciation of your name. You can leave it for either of us. You can say, write our names and then say, this is a question I have for you, or you can ask for both. Any questions, any arguments or counter arguments, if you have them, you can leave them in the comments, and then we'll try to like just get around to those.
I can't see where these comments should be. I'm sorry. I'm not very much a tech
Oh,
person.
no, that's okay. If you're, so for you, you can, on the right-hand side where you see that there's private comments, you can click right next to it. It should say public comments or something like that. And you should be able to see the comments. And I will show them up. English comments. I don't speak Romanian, I think it is, or whatever language.
Romanian, yes.
Okay. This isn't, if there's anything that you think that you want for me to like answer, or you want me to display, just let me know and I'll display it. Okay.
Okay. Should I start like reading them fastly or something? I don't know how.
Okay. Yeah. If you just start reading them out, and then I can put them up. If you see any,
Okay.
if I see any, I will also.
So,
Okay.
okay, the first comments are not related. He's acting like he doesn't get what you're saying. Children can't give consent. Okay, I think we addressed that in the beginning with the consent. And do you want to take a different stance on that? Like,
well, I think we should go with the more recent comments, like the more like I guess like more like along the lines of the questions. Okay, let's see. All right, I guess I'll do the. I guess I'll talk it to this comment. This person said, I find it funny when a pro-life person supports death penalty. I see it a lot, but I don't get it. I support death penalty and I am pro-life. The reason I support death penalty is because I believe that if you're not innocent, you don't necessarily deserve the same rights as if you're innocent. An unborn child is innocent by state's law. And so putting somebody to death who's innocent and putting somebody to death who's not innocent is a very different thing. So.
can I just ask you a question?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you can.
Don't you believe in the fact that a person can like make himself better and like maybe make a real change on the world? Either if he got a death sentence, like I don't know, maybe he gets to discover something revolutionary or really takes a turn on his life. Like I get being sentenced to prison and spending the rest of his life in jail, but don't you kind of believe he could do that?
That's a good question. I would say eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth is how our code should go by. So so whether or not he was going to do that, if he really wanted to make the world better, then he shouldn't have done anything. Then he shouldn't have killed people. I don't believe, like I said, if you don't kill somebody or if you don't like miserably destroy somebody's life, I don't believe that you should be put to death. But if you kill somebody who wasn't aggressing against you, if you murder, not necessarily just kill. But if you murder somebody, if you like rape, I think they should be put to death as well.
So you don't in full retention, right?
What's that?
you don't believe in full repentance, right? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Like if you repent to God, then you get forgiven for.
Oh,
Like
I
you don't.
believe that if you repent to God and believe in Him, then you should be forgiven. But that doesn't mean, I don't believe that that means that you shouldn't be put to death.
Okay, it was
Yeah.
beside the point. Sorry, I
Yeah,
was just.
because I believe separation of church and state. As for the United States, if I was going to have my own state, I still believe that Christians should be held to the same standard as everybody else. And if Christians break the law, they should be murdered or not murdered. They should face capital punishment as well. Okay. Would
Can I
you
press
not?
on one or I can press on stuff?
Why do you think people commit? Okay, I guess I'll answer this. Would you not rather they rot in hell, though? If they don't want to rot in hell, then they can repent and believe in their sins, or not believe. I said repent. I meant repent from their sins and believe in Jesus. That's the exact. But yeah,
So I think we speak about some of these comments that are about abortion, like this one, while
yeah,
you're talking
this is
about
better.
7-year-olds that are not mature enough to understand the consequences, and it's not really necessarily on the topic. Thank you, Linka. Yes, I believe it's a bit of a constraint, as I said in my argument. So you can pick anything.
Wait, were you reading a comment?
Yeah. I was talking about this comment from Ilinka. It was quite in the half of the debate. Why are you talking about 7-year-olds when they're not mature enough to understand? We were talking about it just from the perspective of being able to give an informed consent, and I talk about the fact that there are a minority of the cases and they're not the core of the subject. But
yeah, we were discussing bodily autonomy. That was the purpose of that. I think we should go for like 4 more minutes if people have comments. And if we just like run out of comments all in all, then I think we should just like, we can just end this. This person says, if I got pregnant and I couldn't abort, I would kill myself. How are you pro-life? Oh, well, that's not really like an actual like productive question. Oh, you
can I say
don't
something about that?
kill yourself. What's that?
Can I say something about that? As a medical professional, the fact that it made me become pro-choice or whatever
Sure.
is that I heard about the case of Brianna, I think was her name, from Iran, and she did get denied abortion and she died. And also the suicide, there was a child in Ireland as well who tried to commit suicide because she was denied abortion. Just my reasoning for being pro-choice. Okay. And the fact that I would not, just one second, I would not like to have the blood on my hands from 2 people in that kind of situation. Sorry, you can go on.
No, that's my bad. I cut you off. That was my bad. I didn't mean to. Yeah, I obviously don't support that. I should have read that comment before I put it up. Oh my gosh. But I don't support people committing suicide. I don't believe people should take their lives or others into their own hands unless like, yeah. Okay. People who did bad things. I didn't use Christianity as a pro-life argument. I didn't bring up religion of any kind to this entire debate. I don't know where you got that. Mary White Rose. Yeah, that's just.
Where is it?
Oh, it's at the very bottom.
Can you click on it? Oh.
Yeah. He said, yeah. I didn't use Christianity as a single pro-life argument. This entire. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. There's someone here who said they are sucking nutrients from the mother. Indeed, they are taking things like calcium from the body. You are correct about using nutrients from the mother. That's medically correct, yes. It is a language barrier. I'm sorry for the language barrier, Michael. I really tried my best. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the language barrier. Someone mentioned the language barrier. I'm really sorry. I tried my best to.
I mean, it's just as much my fault as it is yours. I mean, I don't like. I mean, I don't think you have to apologize at all. No, I mean, I think it's awesome. Thank you for asking to debate. I think we should end the debate about now. Thank you so much for having this debate with me. I honestly don't feel like I did as good as I usually do, but you're very good.
Thank you. Thank you so much for accepting. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good time.
Okay, you too.
All right.